Hello, everyone. My name is Maya, and if you are new here, that's okay because I am too. Um, and today I'm basically going to be going over the entirety of the L word relationship dynamic, the whole thing. Basically, I'm going to be going over all of it, but this is only season one. I'm going to be doing six of these. Yeah, I don't want to get into too much of me, who I am, like the backstory of the L word, blah, 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 because we're going to get into it. But first, I'm going to go over how to read this chart and, like, basically how it works, how I set it up before we get started. So I put the characters in, like, little bubbles here. And on the side of each of their bubbles, you have, like, their sexualities. Yeah, we have, like, the two little bars here, and then you can see like what each bar means depending on the character, and then we have what all the lines mean. So basically, yeah, we have friends, which is, yeah, obviously these little green bubbles here. Then we have cheating or more than friends. Example number one. We have broken up. This is what the blue line means. If they're in a committed relationship, then they get the red heart. If they're family or related, obviously, gray line. And lastly, if they hooked up. These are going to be like the main and only like bridges and things that you might need to reference. So there it is for you. I don't think there's anything else that we need to go over besides like the little key here. So I'm going to go episode by episode, kind of explaining what's happening. The series in its entirety does not make sense. So get that out of your mind now. It does not make sense. It will not make sense. Every character, even if you think that, hey, like, they might be a good person, or like, hey, I'm starting to like this character, or hey, they're starting to have some character development. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Every one of these characters is wicked to their core. Yes. If you have not seen the L word, you should definitely go watch it. I'm so sorry. And if you have seen the L word, then you know what's about to go down, and I'm also sorry for what's about to happen. Let's get started. So first, starting off, we meet Bette Porter and Tina, which they are a couple who is trying to have a baby. Bette Porter is like the blueprint for the power lesbians. I am wearing her uniform now. She's artsy. She's the director of the California Arts. And Tina, she quit her job to have a baby with Bette Porter because, yeah, I mean, honestly, they start off, you're rooting for them. They're like this power couple, and yeah, everything seems good. They're trying to have a baby. They're trying really hard. They're going through like weird methods to have a baby. Like, I mean, I guess it was the 2000s. I'm not really sure how any of that like really works even to this day, but they're asking like just like random men who happen to be artists to like give them their sperm so that they can get pregnant with it, and they obviously like choose the donor together. And we meet Bette and Tina's neighbor, which is Tim. Tim is excited because his girlfriend is coming to town, and his girlfriend is Jenny Schechter, and she's moving to LA to fulfill her dreams. And I mean, hey, like, honestly, you know, once you hit that age, it's either like run a marathon, move to a big city, stay in your hometown, or have a child. So I'm not mad yet. We meet Jenny. She seems like this kind woman who is just in love with her boyfriend, and they want to, you know, make a life together. She gets a job at a grocery store. So far, so good. Tim is Bette and Tina's neighbors, and when Jenny moves in, she is lost, she's curious, she's a writer. So, I mean, you know, she has that edge to her. And she's always looking for something to write about. One day when she is by the pool, she sees something going on, something gay going on at the neighbor's house. And so she's like looking, and she's like, oh, should I look away or should I keep looking? Or she keeps looking. And that is the introduction of her whatever. Then we meet Miss Marina here, who is the owner of the planet, which is like basically a hangout spot for all of the like the gay friend group. She has an accent and she's like tall, stallion, French, I don't know. She has that like edge to her. What irks me about Marina is that everything that she says, it just is kind of like, okay, like whatever that means. Like, then we meet Shane McCutcheon. Shane is introduced as like a womanizer who just like can't shake the ladies off of her. Shane is like nonchalant and cannot commit, and also doesn't know that she's like hot or whatever, doesn't care that she's hot apparently. So yeah, Shane is cool. Like, she's just kind of like the voice of reason. I have no beef with Shane, but I just squint my eyes a little bit when people have like severe commitment issues. Next we have Miss Alice, who is, well, she's motherboard. Like, she is just like my favorite character. I feel like you cannot have a favorite character in this show because every one of them will inevitably let you down, and or just prove that they're like such a shitty person and like suck so bad. So you cannot pick favorites, but for now, Alice is my favorite. She's like this witty, funny, like comedic relief character, and also she's a genius. So yeah, that's pretty much all that you need to know about Alice. We also have Miss Dana here. She's a femme tennis player who is gay, but she's like deeply, deeply closeted.
You are just
and
so
has like
gay.
deep
So
rooted
gay.
internalized homophobia, which like I can't even. I'm not even gonna say nothing about that because Lord knows I have been there. I have graduated from there, but I've been there. Next we have Miss Kit Porter, who is she's straight, good for her. But she is, as you can see from the line, she is Beth's older sister. And yeah, those are basically all the characters. I don't have like any structure for this, so we're just gonna go and go and go until we can't go no more. We have a little bit of backstory on Jenny and Tim, and then Tina and Beth as well. Now, they're trying to have a baby, but they're having some issues because either like the men that they try to get their sperm from, it's just like not working, or the men are like, oh, this is like weird, I don't want to have like a child roaming the earth, like what if they come for me, blah blah blah. So what they decide to do is have a sperm donor party, but the guests don't know that it's a sperm donor party. So they invite basically every single man. That includes Tim and Jenny. So they're at this party. Jenny meets Alice, and Alice is trying to hit on Jenny, like fiercely, but like nothing is landing. Like, she is just airballing like hell. Marina pulls up and she lands her eye on Jenny, and that's all she wrote, because Marina walks in the room and they literally hit it off like instantly. I mean, I would be the same. If Marina was like in the same room as me, like I would fold instantly as well. And that's exactly what Jenny did. She folded instantly. So they're having conversation. Jenny goes to the bathroom. Marina follows her, and they end up hooking up. Hence, again, the purple line in between them. And Jenny is like, well, they don't hook up, but they end up kissing, like making out. And Jenny like freaks out immediately, is like, we gotta go. She grabs Tim, and they leave the party. While they're at this party, since it's a bunch of gay people, the women start saying like, oh, if your ring finger is longer than your index finger, it means you're gay. I think, yes, this is my ring finger. And this is my, if your ring finger is longer than your index finger. Oh, Jenny was like, oh, mine are the same length. And then everyone was like giggling, like, oh, hi, that means you're bisexual. Like, oh, I put Jenny as bisexual. I should have put her as straight in the beginning episode, but I mean, literally first episode in, she folds. So we're ending episode 1 with honestly nothing too crazy. Like, we have a lot, just like a lot of friendships. I don't know the lesbian community in LA, but I just kind of feel like, I don't know, maybe like it's gotta be bigger than like a couple people. Like, you don't gotta be dating your friends in a city like LA. I don't know. I don't know the LA lesbian dating scene, but from an outside perspective, places like New York, LA, Chicago, I just don't understand dating your friends. Like, there's so many people. We have one incident already in episode 1, and Tim does not know about it. I'm so sorry, guys. In episode 1, I just realized that I missed like a major plot point, which is Bet is like, oh yeah, I found a donor, finally. Like, because remember all the men were like rejecting them? Bet finally finds someone to give their sperm, and Tina doesn't want to do it because he's black. Your wife is black. And when a black child comes into question, she's like, I don't know. She wants an Aryan baby. It's hard for me to understand the logic behind her thinking. She might be racist. Tina, in episode 2, she has a realization when she's jogging, and she thinks to herself, you know what? Let's do it. Now I'm getting a double take, because I'm like, well, what made you, but hey, you know what? They got what they wanted. They can stop having an argument over it, and hopefully stop going to therapy, because Tina is not racist anymore. They go through with the insemination, and yeah, basically living a happily ever after in this episode. The queen of monogamy, Bet Porter, is getting everything that she wanted. They're getting everything that they wanted, and good for them. Let's move on to how Shane's doing. You get what you give in this world. Every room that Shane walks out of or walks into, someone leaves crying. And I'm like, that's just not right. It's just not right. You can't treat people that way. Those are the exact words that Shane Stalker said. But honestly, like, I'm kind of with her, because I'm like, you can't just do that to people and expect nothing to happen. But I will say that Shane is a good friend. He's a good everything besides like a committed partner. And so I also forgot to mention, guys, the fact that literally Tim and Jenny got married. Or they didn't get married, but like Tim proposed to Jenny in, like, he put her ring in like food, in like a plate of food or something. So they throw a dinner party. Marina shows up. Tim ends up inviting Marina because he's like, oh, she's so chill. Like, he doesn't know anything that's going on. Bet and Tina are there. And Bet and Tina kind of notice that something is up. I mean, I think everyone kind of knows something is up besides Dana, because she, like, doesn't have gaydar. Bet and Tina, specifically Bet, realize, like, they watch their interactions between Marina and Jenny, and they're like, oh, yeah, like, there's something definitely going on. Of course, the queen of monogamy, she must step in. So what does Bet Porter do? She follows Marina into the back, and she is like, what are you doing? Like, literally, what are you doing? And Marina is like, what do you mean? And Bet is like, but Marina, I don't know, in European fashion, she's just like, I don't care. And that is pretty much all for episode 2 that I have documented, and all that is like net worthy of saying out loud. There's not many changes from the episode 1 chart, but this purple line. I'm not sure why I made it purple, but it's supposed to be orange. I put it there because in this episode, we do get a little lore drop that Alice had hooked up with Bet previously. Yeah, so yeah, I think we can move on now to episode 3. Now we're on to episode 3. We're at the planet. You know, the gang's all here. We have Dana, Alice, Shane, Bet and Tina, and Marina. And then all of a sudden, Jenny bursts in, insisting that she needs to talk to Marina. And everyone's just like, Irma, this is Aki. And she grabs Marina into the office and she's just like going on about how Tim is the most important thing and she can't do this, blah, blah, blah. We've heard it before in the first 2 episodes. And Marina's like, okay, like, alrighty. And it's just weird. The whole thing was just weird. And Bet, she is a director at the CAC. She's having some troubles at work, actually. Yes. Because she is trying to implement this new art exhibit called Provocations. Bet is a power lesbian and nothing will stop her. Basically, everyone at her job hates her, but she does not give a fuck. We're at the tennis club and Dana sees Laura and she's like, oh my gosh, like, can I ask, can we go on a date? So they go on a date together and yeah, they're living good. Like, honestly, they're endgame for me. I don't care what anyone says about what will insist in the next few seasons. This is endgame, start to finish for me. So now we see Shane. Shane. Again, like I mentioned, she had a stalker. And the stalker is now putting up posters of Shane around LA, calling her, I can't even remember what they said, but I'm going to put the poster. Shane finally confronts her and is like, this needs to stop. Like, and the stalker is like, but I just don't understand. Like, you act like I didn't even exist. Like, I thought it meant something. Like, I thought, and then Shane starts making out with her. That is why she does it to herself. If she would have just been like, look, you know, I can't do it. You need to stop. Whatever. I would have been like, and then she proceeds to spend the night at her house. It got her to stop stalking her, but she went about it funny. I don't know. And where is Jenny? Jenny is... Tina tries to get Jenny to confide in her because she could tell that... I mean, it's very clear that things are weighing on Jenny. And obviously Tina knows because Bet knows. Jenny is like, well, how do you know? Like, did Marina tell you? And Tina was like, girl, like, the whole town knows. Like, you don't have to say anything. Like, I could just tell by the way you're acting. And so Jenny, she's already disheveled. So she goes to the planet and confronts Marina. And she's like, I'm not gay. And all this stuff. They end up hooking up again. Like, I would give Jenny some props if she was actually trying to be a better person and be like, you know what, I messed up. Marina, I still have feelings for you, but I'm keeping my distance. It's kind of pathetic because it's like, did you even try? Are you even trying? Again, not like I always want lesbians to win and I'm always rooting for them. But this relationship here, it's not healthy at all and it's weird. So where do we end off with episode 3? Marina is still untouchable. Her and Jenny will never, they are going strong. Kit is still doing her thing. Bet and Tina, Bet is still struggling a lot. And Dana and Laura are going strong. I think all is well that ends well in the L words LA. Now we are on episode 4. As you can probably see, nothing really changed from episode 3 because nothing changed at all. I used the same chart for episode 3 as I did in episode 4 because nothing transpires that like affects the chart really. So, as you know, Jenny, she's a writer. She wakes up. She's like, you know what? I want to go to the planet today. She's all giddy about Marina. And she's like, you know what? I want to go to the planet today to see my girl. And Tim's like, oh, I'll come with you. And she's like, but he ends up going to the planet with her, blah, blah, blah. And they end up like hooking up in the bathroom while Tim is there. Again, I want to root for them. But they make it so hard. Like, no one here is a saint, nor will they show themselves to be worthy of anything other than a crumb. And all is well in paradise still because Bet and Tina, not Bet, but Tina, while she's at the house with Kit and Alice, she finally confirms that there is a baby growing inside of her, that they are finally gonna have a child, and the pregnancy test is positive. And I'm like, finally. And it's a happy moment. Everything seems to be going right. Like, I don't know. Like, in this moment in time, I'm like, honestly, I just wish it could just stay like this. Everyone seems happy. Tim doesn't know anything. Marina, I don't know. She's just happy with where she's at. Jenny's happy because she gets to have Tim and Marina. Bet, she's still battling some stuff. Tina's pregnant. They're all happy that she's pregnant. They're in a relationship. Shane has kicked her stalker. Everything's good. You know what? I spoke too soon because I said everything was good. But actually, Shane, Dana, and Alice are at the planet hanging out. And Alice is kind of like down bad again because Gabby like messed her up. She's like, I want to go back to men. Again, she's bisexual. So she's like, I'm done with women. I want to go to men. While they're at the planet, they're hanging out. Someone comes up to Shane and they're like, oh, hey, Shane. And it's a man. And Alice is like, oh, he's cute. This man's name is Lisa. They're like, oh, Alice is down bad. She just had her heart broken. And she's done with women. Like, she's done with lesbians. And Lisa is like, well, maybe I can change her mind. And at first, nothing strikes you off about that. But then Dana is like, well, what do you mean? Like, what are you talking about? And Lisa mentions that he is a lesbian-identified man. Look, I always want to root for lesbians. I always, maybe I'm not woke enough. And so Alice takes a liking to this lesbian man, Lisa. Now, back to Jenny and Marina. Jenny is actually worse than we thought. Ooh, okay. She wants to go to dinner with her professor. Tim, he's actually starting to gain some kind of sense because she wants to go to dinner with her professor who she has been physical with. She goes to dinner with this man. She confesses that she's sleeping with Marina and cheating on Tim while she's engaged. And he's just like, yeah, like, you're a writer. That's what writers do. You're a writer. And it's like, okay. Tim is actually mid-crash out during this because he's like, dang, like, I let her go to dinner with a professor that she's been that she has seen him naked. And I'm letting her, like, I want her to be free, but this might be too far. And he is indeed right. That is too far. Especially, like, he goes to the professor's hotel room to find Jenny, to see if Jenny's there. She's not there. Meanwhile, Jenny is actually with Marina. It's like, you were so close, but you were going the wrong way. Like, so close. Again, he's just too oblivious for my liking. And so Tim, he's like, you know what? I overreacted. Blah, blah, blah. He goes home. He finds Jenny there. Jenny is there, and she's writing. And that's where we leave with episode 4. Episode 5, everyone. So, yeah, as you can see, the chart has grown a little bit. The chart has grown a little bit. Not much, though. We just added Lisa. So I'm like, ugh, I wish I didn't have to add him, but, like, it's just too good. Like, it's funny. I'm sorry. It is a little bit funny. Kit actually is in kind of, like, a moment because she had gotten a letter from her son where her son needs, like, some medical records. And she wants to write him back. So she's just, like, a little bit nervous about that and just having some, like, some hesitations because, like, she never knew her son and she never got to bond with him. So Like, she's like, now's my chance to. She's sober and she's doing her thing. So, yeah, that's what's up with Kit. Then we are finally at Reckoning Day because Tim, he is at going to a swim meet. He's a high school swim coach. I don't know if I mentioned that, but he's a high school swim coach. And so he is like about to go on a field trip with his swim team. But he's like, oh my gosh, I forgot something at home. So he goes back to his house. And what does he find? Jenny and Marina there, knee deep. Of course, that would shock anybody to the core. He is shocked, to say the least. And they are also shocked, to say the least. But I must admit, I was cheering. They were getting messy. They were doing too much. I didn't like it. And he deserves the truth. I'm sorry. But you know what the funny thing is? When Tim walked in, Jenny was obviously embarrassed. Tim was shocked. But Marina was like, what? Like, she got dressed and walked out like that. She had no skin in the game, like none. And Jenny didn't realize that. And although Tim seems mad, I think he's just in shock. I don't know, because he ends up taking her with him. He ends up being like, fine. And I think he's so in shock that he just doesn't know what to do. I proposed to this woman and you walk into that? So he ends up taking her with him and they're still gonna get married and yeah. And I say that this is Reckoning Day because everything is falling apart, guys. Because Laura and Dana, like I said before, Dana's agent was like, oh, if you're going to go to this event, like, you got to bring your partner. Like, you're not bringing Laura. Dana, for some dumbass reason, didn't tell Laura that. And Laura is expecting to go to this event. And so she shows up to Dana's house, dressed and ready to go. And Dana is with her tennis partner, who's also dressed, and she has to break the news that you are not coming. Like, do not come. Laura is like, why would you do that to me? And Dana's like, I'm so sorry. And Laura's like, you know what? It can work if you just come out. And Dana's like, okay, you're right. And so they make up. Tim and Jenny, they came back from wherever they were, and you know, they were gonna get married, blah blah blah. They come back. Tim, he is just like, he comes to his senses and he's like, what am I doing? And so he's like, you know what? Actually, no, I'm not going to get married to you. So he leaves, just like up and leaves, and leaves the ring behind. And I'm clapping and I'm cheering because, like, he should have done this, like, from the beginning. I understand that he was in shock. It was a long time coming. And after Tim finally gets to his senses and has the guts to leave Jenny, Jenny is surprised when he does. When she comes home and finds that Tim is gone, the ring is there, and he has left nothing for her. And that's where we end from episode 5. And honestly, I think we're doing good. Honestly, people are waking up. So now let's move on to episode 6. Alrighty, guys, we are now on episode 6. I feel as though I need a snack, but I'm going to keep going. As you can see, there are some new things going on the chart. Obviously, a lot of things went down in the last episode. So for this episode, Tim and Jenny, we can say, are officially broken up. Jenny has gone missing. She's spiraling. That feels pretty bad. So she goes over to Tim. She can see that he's struggling. And she tries to, like, console him and give him some advice. And she's like, yeah, Jenny's a writer. You know, that's what they do. They just want, like, they just do whatever they want. And she accidentally reveals that she knew for a while that Marina and Jenny were, like, a thing. And obviously Tim gets mad. Like, I would have gotten mad as well. And like I said, Jenny, she has gone completely missing. Like, she just left as well. And she is, like, bumming it. She's, like, hitchhiking on the road. She meets these teenagers who, like, give her mushrooms, and she has this, like, guys, like, again, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all, but she's, like, I don't know. Again, she's a writer. That's the excuse I'm going to give her, too. Like, she's a writer. I don't know. And remember when I said that Laura and Dana made up because Dana was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna be out and about." Well, she had a Subaru ad that she was gonna campaign for, and she promised Laura that she would bring her to it, but she ends up choosing her tennis partner to go instead. And so of course, Laura is like, you know what? Yeah, she's hurt. And finally, we end this episode off with a face off with Tim and Marina. Because basically, Tim is like, you know what? I've had enough of this. So he goes to the planet and he confronts Marina. And Tim is doing too much. I get he's mad, but he's like grabbing on people and all this stuff. So he confronts Marina, but he's calling her all these names. And then he's like, wait, but like, since you guys are lesbians, like, does it actually count? Like, if you hook up? And then she was like, well, I mean, you saw for yourself. Like, let me ask the audience. And he gets even more mad, and then he pushes her. And she pushes him back. Yeah, honestly, I think Marina won that one. I don't disagree that she's a vulture. He clocked her with that, but she won. I'm sorry. She did win. And that's where we end off with episode 6. I'm locked up, they won't let me out. They won't let me out. Won't let me out. I'm locked up, won't let me out. Won't let me out. I'm